Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be going over a couple of pieces of information regarding some compensation because of some recent arena issues, what's happening with the War Depot refresh, and also that Conquest public beta is going to be coming live. Now first off, we'll go over the arena access issue that has obviously popped up and what sort of compensation that Scopely are going to be handing out because of this. And it's pretty simple. The arena access issue updates reads as follows. Hello survivors, as many of you may know, there is currently a bug with arenas where a not enough players message is being displayed despite the number of players available. We are currently working to correct this issue as quickly as possible, but do not have a firm timeline for a fix to share at this point. With that in mind, we are aware that this issue is adversely impacting players' abilities to complete the Sweet Choice mission to use 15 arena tickets as a faction, subsequently blocking access to the Sweet Choice's daily roadmaps. As a result, this mission is being removed for the remainder of the event. Finally, we'll be sending all players one pink cupcake via inbox within the next few hours. Thank you for your patience. Best TWD RTS team. Now, this is obviously got a couple of things in here. The arena access issue basically happens when there aren't enough players in a league. I've had that happen once before in, I think, a test region, but it shouldn't happen when it's live. So there was obviously an issue here, and the compensation is pretty much what I expected because the pink cupcake, you couldn't get it without using the 15 arena tickets. Now, they are saying they're going to be removing that 15 arena tickets mission for the remainder of the event, which I think is actually, you know, a good move. I think that mission was obviously the biggest issue within the Sweet Choice missions. It required a lot. It also required you to sometimes spend tickets when you didn't personally need to. Like, for instance, I was in first place. My faction needed some tickets spent. I have a lot of tickets. I just spent them just to spend them, like not to get anything extra out of it. And, you know, that's not a great feeling. I think it would have been better if it was the amount of attacks you did. So, for instance, do 60 attacks as a faction. That would mean that 20 of your players would just have to use their free ticket every day, which would be probably quite reasonable, I think, and I don't think too many people would have complained about that. But overall, this one's absolutely fine. The compensation is pretty much what I expected. And you can see that pink cupcake in my inbox already. If you did get it quite late, you can obviously use 2 cupcakes in a single day. For instance, there are days with armory tokens in it. That's quite good. Then you can do armory tokens and the trainers on the same day if you so wish. Over to the next big piece of news. There is information for what is going to be happening with war rewards, the depot, and the stash. Again, a reasonably short post, but it does give quite a lot of information. Hello survivors, with the war depot expiring tomorrow and the launch of the Conquest update on the horizon, we wanted to give everyone an update on the war depot. As you know, the Conquest update is packed with a huge amount of exciting changes into the game. The way characters, gear, trainers, and more are acquired are changing, and that means that some of the current methods of acquisition will be changing and or leaving. After the current War Depot expires tomorrow, a new, nearly identical instance of the current War Depot will be available, with some items having an increase in purchase limits. You can expect this next War Depot to expire on the 26th of March, so that is pretty much just 3 or 4 weeks away at 4 PM Pacific time. After this date, the War Depot tokens will be retired from use, so make sure you use all of your War Depot tokens before they're gone for good. Also note that with the War Depot tokens taking their leave, Whole Rotting Heads will also be departing the game permanently. If you wish to redeem these, make sure you do so now. So this is normally what happens at the end of a war refresh, a War Depot refresh, is the expiration of the stash tokens, but now it's actually going to be the full expiration of the War Depot tokens as well on the 26th of March. It does finish off by saying, we also want to remind you that the War Stash is ending tomorrow. Make sure if you're interested in pulling on the War Stash, make sure you do so before it's over. And again, like I said, you will lose your tokens there. There's no benefit to holding on to it. Well, you get some supply depot tokens, but it's not a very good ratio. You'll get trainers, there's bennies and stuff in that War Stash, so definitely pull. It does say, however, in keeping with our commitment to honor past progress throughout the S-Class era, we will reward players based on their total achievements in S-Class wars with a special new limited time grey market in the near future. Stay tuned for more. Best TWD RTS team. That is interesting for the last bit. I'm not sure how they're really going to work that out. I'm not really sure how they're going to calculate that, but whether it's on an individual basis, whether it's on a faction basis, do you get the bonuses of the current faction you're in, even if you've only been in there for a week? Do you get the bonuses of a faction you haven't been in, even though you were in there for months? It's going to be interesting. The S-Class era was a very long time as well. It was a year and a half. That's going to be a lot of war data that they're going to have to go through. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. It's going to be interesting to see what replaces it long term, because I think the War Depot has been fairly successful, but I think they don't want people to carry over their tokens from the S-Class era War Depots, wars basically, and take them into the next Mythic War Depot, because they could have like Mythic tokens in there. They could have lots of things that give you instant power with Mythics, and there can be some people with 5, 10, maybe even 15,000 of the War Depot tokens just sitting there waiting. So that is one thing to note. I personally have like 4,000 to 6,000 in my region. I'm gonna actually have to spend them now. I'll probably we'll see what the refresh is gonna bring, because I don't like the current depot. I'm hoping the prices will come down maybe on the refresh, because quite a lot of things are really expensive. I do hope there's some armory tokens in there. We'll have to wait and see for tomorrow. And lastly, we do have the big news. Conquest is coming to public beta. We will read through this information as well. It says, we've been showing you information on Conquest update over the past few weeks, and before we release it, we need a few brave survivors to help us test the waters. A public beta for Android users will be available soon, and will be the first chance for some of our players to get their hands on the Conquest update before it fully released to all players. Don't worry, if you've played one of our past public betas, your progress on the beta server will not be affected, and you'll still be able to continue where you left off. We will also be providing several bonuses, such as a fast build times and fighter leveling, and events for everyone participating in the beta servers to help get you up and running in no time. Look out for a public beta event schedule and patch notes upon release. So if you want to participate and haven't signed up, click here now before reading on. I will link this blog if you do want to come through to the blog and obviously sign up to the beta. This is where to do it. You just click this link and it takes you through to the sign up procedure. It does say all done. Perfect. Now you'll be able to access the public beta once it's live and help us make sure that everything is running smoothly while getting a preview on things to come. It does just highlight the fact that it is a public beta build and you'll be interacting with content still in development, so you may encounter bugs that may impact your experience in both beta regions and live regions as well. So if you want to take the risk, effectively you could have something that makes it so one of your rushes doesn't work, for instance, on one of your main S-Class characters. This is something that you are taking a risk on updating, but there are generally bonuses to signing up to beta. There will be a lot of the time missions and stuff where you can earn coins that you do get rewarded for the beta testing that you do. It does go over everything that they've gone over before when it comes to what is Conquest, new challenges, new progression, continue the story mode, game upgrades. So combat loot, training grounds, wheels, depots, these core systems and more have been upgraded for Conquest. So again, more confirmation that there's going to be a lot of upgrades and updates. It does actually go over what you can expect in the public beta. You'll be able to experience most of our core updates during the public beta, and we'll be sharing the final patch notes and public beta event calendar once our public beta goes live. But here are a few of the features you can expect to try out yourself. World map extension and Conquest campaign, so you'll be able to check out those. Some mythic fighters and combat upgrades. This will affect your live game performance. These changes here should probably go into your live game as well as beta. So you'll have the revive update and other people won't. And the revived update is actually, I wouldn't say it's a nerf, it's definitely a balance where characters will not have the AP, they won't have full AP when they're revived. So definitely take that into account. It doesn't look like they're going to try and drop it on a war weekend. So they're trying to limit where that'll potentially be an issue in like the main core combat part of the game. It does go on to say about lieutenant system being tested out, town and building updates, wheel and shop updates, as well as the last one here. It says find out our new wheels have to offer, updated pools for all fighters, updated supply, faction assault and survival road depots. It does say faction assault was updated, but as I did a video about this, I don't know if a mythic character is going to be added. They might have changed this again with mythic characters actually added to that. That'll be very interesting to see. And then it finishes off by saying you'll also be able to participate in several live tournaments and events, including a Blitz War to help you fully run through its paces. This is just a taste of everything new you'll be able to help us fine tune in our upcoming public beta, and we're looking forward to reading all your feedback on our Discord channel. And it goes through the final reminder about you. If you want to sign up, make sure you follow the link. You can join the Discord as well, and you can expect the public beta to bring it in sometime on the 2nd of March. So that is going to be extremely interesting. And obviously I'll be able to bring you a lot of information now. I was very restricted on what I could make content on before, with everything needing alpha approval, whereas now it's in public beta. I'm going to have a lot of freedom to just create content on every single part of the Conquest update as I want. So expect to see even more content over the next couple of weeks if it wasn't already crazy enough. Okay guys, that's just the end of this little update. A final reminder, make sure you pull all your tokens on the War Stash. This, when the tokens reset in 18 hours for me, but it's going to be a lot less time for you by the time you see this video, these tokens disappear. They turn into supply depot tokens, and as you can see, you can get trainers in here. Definitely use everything you've got in here. I'm going to wait for the War Depot refresh to see what that has to offer. But for this video, guys, that is pretty much it. I think the compensation was good. I look forward to seeing what the War Depot is going to bring. And it's great news that obviously Conquest, one of the biggest updates, if not the biggest update in the history of RTS, is coming into beta. And a lot of you are going to get your hands on it. It can be a bit overwhelming at first, but it's going to be extremely interesting. That is going to be the end of my video today, guys. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy the video, please hit the like button. It is massively appreciated. And thank you to everyone who has hit the subscribe button over the last couple of months. Like I said in a previous video, I did hit 13,000 subscribers, and I couldn't be more thankful. But that is the end of this video. As I said, I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.